Have you ever planted a plant and then within the first couple of weeks the plant dies? Let's talk about that. This is one of the worst things that a home gardener can experience. You go out to the garden center, you buy one or more plants, you plant them, and then within a few weeks, some of them start to die. You've already spent so much money and so much time and effort. This is something that's new to you, but let's talk about some of the reasons why that might happen. Anytime a customer comes in with a plant that's died very quickly once it's been planted, one of the first things I'm going to ask them is, how have you been watering and how often have you been watering? Ideally, with new plantings, you want to water by hand or with a drip system. Sprinklers oftentimes do not water deep enough to get down all the way to the bottom of the root zone. So when you water by hand, don't use the high setting on the water hose. I want you to water slowly and deeply to make sure that the water is getting all the way down to the bottom of the roots. But be sure to let your plants dry out a little bit in between waterings. You don't want to keep them soggy wet all the time because too much water can also hurt your plants. So that's the first question I'm going to ask them is, how often have you been watering? Have you been watering deeply? Because you want to find a happy medium between not too wet and not too dry, and make sure that the water is getting all the way down to the bottom of the roots. Now in this case, if the homeowner's done everything right as far as watering, the next question I'll ask is, how deeply was this plant planted? Now what you don't want to do is you don't want to put dirt on top of the root ball. What this can do is it can actually cut off the airflow to the roots, and this will actually kill the plant very quickly. It's a very common thing that people will just plant them just even an inch or two too low. So what I ask people is, if you go and you scrape the top of that plant, can you actually encounter the top of the root ball? Or do you have to dig down through an inch or two of dirt before you get to the roots? If the roots are at surface level or even a little bit higher than surface level, this is what you want in order to be able to get water and air down to the plant's roots. Now those are the two most common issues that we see when it comes to planting new plants in your landscape. And don't forget that you always need to add in organic compost and root stimulator to your new plantings, and you will have success in your garden. So come see us at Smith's Garden Town, where our expert advice is always free.